are just days where I just can't care about what something looks like. You know, it's just it's just you in the abstract. It's good. I like that. Sometimes it's just you in the abstract, and you just that's life. That's how it goes. Oh, I just get so burnt. I was so I was taking a look at this. Um this is where Zuboff does a lot of her philosophizing. So this section's short, so my guess is that it's gonna be another one of those sections where like I just have to use context clues to figure out like what the fuck else I need to know before I start like really getting into this. But yeah, I don't know. That's cool, I guess. I also have this. I was I like to post everything I create, no matter how shitty it is, because I mean, it's like it's nice to like have something up there that's like you. People should be able to accept themselves, like on some level, you know. That's just life. What up, Yan? What's going, Yan? Um, yeah, I kind of wanted to like rewrite some of this. Probably just take this section out. And then just, I don't know, just do one of these. I don't really care. I mean, like, who gives a fuck? At least I'm posting it, you know? It's like, it could be worse. It could be better. It could be a lot better. Um, but, it also could, could be worse. It could be worse. I don't know if Tumblr's gonna let me post this, but I mean, it's like, that's a word. Um, yeah, sometimes it's just good to like get stuff out there. That's just like fucking good. Sometimes it's just like fucking good to like get out there. Just like fucking do something. Just fucking like there's somewhere out there. All I'm saying, like something like that. Like really like something like that. I don't care. I hate how it looks like so like unfinished. But maybe that's just like something I'm like conditioned to feel. Like you know what I mean? Like I'm supposed to feel like um stuff like this is just like really like half baked and like doesn't deserve to be seen by the public. But it's like You know, like who cares? Like I want to talk about these things. Like oh, it's so juvenile to have works cited on your Tumblr post is like so like counter to like proliferation of like decent knowledge, you know what I mean? Like it's like the kind of like preconceived sort of notion that exists in society that like uh stops people from like doing anything. It's too long. Okay, that's fine. I'll just how about it's fine. I'll just do it in a couple posts. Two at a time. Is this really too long? Don't play with me. Do not play with me. I'm just gonna. Who gives a fuck? Alright, post that. Alright, this is gonna be a pain in the ass. And we hit the reblog. No. Hit the reblog button. We can just do this for a really long Tumblr post. I had like such a headache when I was writing this. I think that's part of the reason I don't want to post it. Is it's just like my head hurt like a lot. Ah, god damn it, Ian. It's better. It is better. This bro. What the fuck is going on? Why can't I fucking copy paste? My hand is like doing something that I just feel like fucking like completely fucking out of control. Ready for a lot of fucking text, buddy. It's so short too. Like I also like I want to add so much to this. Like there's so much more to write about this, dude. Like it doesn't stop. Oh my god. Dude, I'm so shaky. Why am I so shaky today? I'm like fucking up. Whatever. Alright. I like it when the bots crawl my shit. Cause it's stuff like this. Makes my life easier. Go back. God, dude, I feel like so fucking shaky. Holy shit. Yay, it's over. The great evil has been abolished. Alright. Time to delete a bunch of posts. Let's see. Lock it in, folks. 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 Alright, here we go. And then just, yep, there it is. Alright. My life. Over and over and over and over. No, you don't! Alright, well, that's out of the way. Alright. I want to read. Taking a look at this, and I don't know. I need a shower. I took a shower. Coffee. You think I put that swill in my fucking system? I only drink quality Rockstar Focus energy drinks. No, I don't. I actually don't. I don't like caffeine that much, but like sometimes like the caffeinated drinks just like taste good. Like I'm waiting for someone to come out with like a like an alternative. Um to like energy drinks. Like energy drinks that taste like that don't have all the bullshit. But I know like the vitamins in the energy drink. I know it's like the vitamins and like the taurine and stuff and like the energy drinks that like give it like that nice that nice sort of flavor. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about? Like if they could make something that like tastes as good as like an energy drink or whatever, like made it a thing, like that'd be nice. That'd be real nice. Fuck my life. Dude, it's like automatic. I feel like so out of control of my life. Jesus Christ. I feel out of control. Alright, I feel better. Mike. What? Mark. Mark. What am I doing? I love middle-aged people. Haha. How funny. Fuck you, bitch. Anyways. Mm, mm. Yeah, okay. For sure. I walk in supplementary, make them weigh me down. Put the filter on the block, it'll make the sound. You guys fuck with this? Yeah, fuck with it. Shy Halud, and now this. You can have a pregnant horse. Now you too can have a pregnant horse that you eat popcorn from. That's crazy. That's fucking crazy. Alright. I think we've killed enough time. Alright, it's too tasty. That was a nectarine. That was actually a nectarine. It's closer to like a peach or a plum than an apple, I would say. Be right back. Last time, I swear, last time. You ever see that show? What's that show called? With the Doulahan. I think it's called like Bakano or something like that. Durarara. It's one of those. With all of like the subplots and stuff. It's what this shirt always makes me think of. Let's see. Oh no. Oh. Hold on. It's these guys. There's like this plot point that like this guy is like he like runs like a password protected like image board or something. Hey, stop that. No, all my cool videos. Stop, you're looking at all my cool videos. He's like, what's it called? Uh, what's it called? I thought it was called the hundreds. What's it called? Is it like the $1,000,000? Why did I think? Why did I think it was hundreds? Okay. All right. Anyways, yeah, he has like a image board or whatever. I don't know. I don't know why I thought it was hundreds. It makes sense though, cause like a Benji, yeah, the style is really cool. A Benji 100 spot is a type of U.S. dollar actually. But I guess my brain just like made the connection. Like, this is chapter 17. The right to sanctuary. Refuge and prospect are opposites. Refuge is small and dark. Prospect is expansive and bright. We need them both, and we need them together. Grant Hildebrand. Finding a good home. Origins of architectural pleasure. Sorry, I had to shake off that funk. Feeling fucking terrible, dude. Oh my god. Where's my eye tracker? It's like some bullshit, bro. It's like some bullshit, bro. I feel so bad. Oh, I feel so bad. Oh, I feel so bad. Fuck. Panicking and panicking. Panic. Today's supposed to be like an easy fucking day for me. Today's supposed to be like an easy fucking day for me. I keep giving up because today's supposed to be like an easy day for me. But like, I can't have that mindset. Oh, is that my monitor? I can't have that mindset. If I keep believing that today was supposed to be an easy day, then I'm gonna ruin myself. Fucking hate this. God damn it. I want to have like contiguous thoughts, but I keep like reaching these like roadblocks, these like bumps in the road. Oh, it's so hot. It's getting hot in here. Jesus Christ. Today's supposed to be like my break from like flipping out about like my throat and like flipping out like fucking grinding and like World of Warcraft and shit. Like today's supposed to be one of those days where like I just lock in and I just do my thing. This is chapter 17, Right to Sanctuary. Starts off with the poem. Refuge and prospects are opposites. Refuge is small and dark, prospect is expansive and bright. We need them both and we need them together. I already read this first section. I didn't read the whole chapter because a concern kind of came over me. F pants. The fuck? Yeah, I don't know. They like disappeared. But like now you're saying open a window. Don't you think I already thought that was a bad idea? You silly yawn. You don't know. You know nothing. You know nothing of the real world, silly yawn. Alright, let's ground ourselves. Let's get back to reality. Anyways, I read this first section here, and it's really, she talks a lot about like psychology and like formative years. And dude, this section is so short. It's so short. That's right. Chapter 17 is so short. There's a part of me that doesn't want to like write a whole lot about chapter 17. Like I will, because there's still a lot to unpack here, but she as far as like what I've seen so far, it's like she kind of like understands that like her audience is like wider than like then she can like talk about the topic at hand and like communicate anything meaningful. Cause like I mean if you read the book, like she's really solid on the history stuff. She's like pretty solid on the economic stuff. But once she starts getting into like the psychological stuff, she's definitely talking from like a much more like personal perspective. She's definitely just like kind of sharing like how she feels about it. Uh and like kind of discussing like what she agrees with, what she disagrees with. The analysis on her end becomes a lot more like stunted, and I think it's literally just because her focus is, well, on this, like on the legal battles and on the history of like what's been happening so far. It's almost like, like the trend that I was like finding like in the book is like, if a section is like really short, expect it to mean a lot. That's also to say, like, if a section's like really short, expect you, the audience, you, the reader, to have to participate and like research these topics on your own, if you want to like draw out like more insight from like this sort of thing, which is just, that's just how it is. That's just humanity, right? You have one set of eyes and limited time on this earth, so you cooperate, you collaborate. uh, and so like yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna write for this, but it should be interesting at least. Like I should probably just communicate that, right? But I also want to like, I don't want to say anything stupid, but like I also like, the idea behind the blogging is that it's like it's a companion reader. Like you read the book and you read my blog, and it's like, here you go, buddy. Here you go, you little fucking freak. What, you work a 9 to 5 and you have one partner and you guys don't go to dinner dates anymore because everyone stopped talking to each other? Read my blog. It'll offer you another perspective. I didn't get to go to college, and it's like, I mean, it's not like I'm ever gonna stop like um doing these kinds of things, but it's like no one's gonna meet me. Like no one's gonna end up meeting a guy like me. I'm a precious commodity. Um so like, yeah, like I don't know. I have to like introduce people to that idea, to that concept. But I mean, I guess without further ado, we just get into it. Um Big Other outruns society. That summer night when our home was destroyed by a lightning strike, we watched in the driving rain, and gables and rambling porches exploded in fire. Within hours, a smoldering field of black ash covered the ground where our home had been. In the months and years that followed, my recollections of the house took an unexpected shape. Less rooms and objects than shadows, light and fragrance. I conjured a perfect clarity, the rush of my mother's scent when I opened the drawer filled with her once cherished scarves. I closed my eyes and saw the late afternoon sun slicing through the velvety air by the bedroom fireplace, with its ancient sloping mantel where our treasures were on display. A photo of my father and me, tilted towards each other, blending our two shocks of curly black hair. The miniature painted enamel boxes discovered in a Parisian flea market years before the thought of motherhood, which later became the shelter for our children's milk teeth, huddled like secret caches of seeded pearls. Seed pearls, god damn it, what are you doing? Alright, you can hang out there. I'm working. I'm working. Working. What is it? Come here. Okay. I don't know what she wants. She's just hanging out. What are you talking about? You didn't see shit. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. Sorry, my dog came in. You know how it is with little dogs. It was impossible to explain the quality of this sadness and longing. How ourselves and the life of our family had evolved symbiotically with those spaces that we called home. How our attachments transformed the house into a hallowed place of love, meaning, and commemoration. My difficulty began to ease only when I discovered the work of Gaston Bachelard, an extraordinary man who had been a postal worker, physicist, philosopher, and ultimately a professor of philosophy at the Sorbonne. Sorbonne! The old house, for those who know how to listen, is a sort of geometry of echoes. The voices of the past do not sound the same in the big room as in the little bedchamber. Among the most difficult memories, well beyond any geometry that can be drawn, we must recapture the quality of the light. Then come the sweet smells that linger in the empty rooms. Is here about how they're remaking Code Veronica? That's pretty cool. Fuck, man, I feel like out of my fucking breath, dude. Like, when you don't know anything about something, like, it really feels like whatever's being said can, like, mean anything, like, about anything, right? So I'm like, I'm reading this, and I'm like, oh, of course. This is about, like, family and, like, intimacy and humanity. But, like, on the other hand, I'm like, this is about, like, mapping like cell movements and like cellular interactions and like all those like little like mechanical things that like make a brain happen or whatever. Because like at some point, someone who's lying about not believing someone wants to believe that they'd rather be controlling anyone. It's sort of this like instrumentarian concept of control, this like radical behaviorist sort of idea that like this sort of thing is like appealing. There's also like this idea that like as someone who knows something, like you will die before you can make a change, and so you constantly just have to like appeal to these rooms of people and like
feel like you're getting some peek into a life that is designed to never be understood by you. You will never understand what lies behind the gates of the hidden city, or of the forbidden city. That's just truth. And so it really makes you wonder, like, why is it that people insist, the common people insist on upholding these tenets that demand of you everything that the walls of the forbidden city demand, you know? So like what the fuck is like really going on, you know? It's the fucking cravings again. There's how I want to feel for this person, but then there's what I know is happening in the moment. There's what I know is going to affect my life tomorrow. There's knowing, like, what is going to change what's happening before me. And, like, anything I can do to influence that. And it changes my cognition. I know it changes my cognition because the cascades of feelings express themselves very differently. One thought consequential of another begets a very different emotional reaction, because I believe ontologically that something else is happening. One of Bachelard's works in particular, The Poetics of Space, is instructive as we reckon with the prospects of life in the no-exit shadow of Big Other and its power brokers behind the curtain. In this book, Bachelard elaborates his notion of topoanalysis, the analysis of how our deepest relationships to inner self and outer world are formed in our experience of space, specifically the space we call home. It's odd. It's a stamp of contradiction here. The house shelters daydreaming. The house protects the dreamer. The house allows one to dream in peace. The house is one of the greatest powers of integration for the thoughts, memories, and dreams of mankind. It is body and soul. It is the human being's first world. Before he is cast into the world, he is laid in the cradle of the house. Life begins well. It begins enclosed, protected, all warm in the bosom of the house. Home is our school of intimacy, where we first learn to be human. Its corners and nooks conceal the sweetness of solitude. Its rooms frame our experience of relationship. Its shelter, stability, and security work to consecrate. Hit it with the concentrate. Work to concentrate our unique inner sense of self, an identity that imbues our daydreams and night dreams forever. The shelter of home is our original way of living in space. Bachelard discovers shipping not only the existential counterpoint of home and away, but also of our most fundamental ways of making sense of experience, house and universe, refuge and world, inside and outside, concrete and abstract, being and non-being, this and that, here and elsewhere, narrow and vast, depth and immensity, private and public, intimate and distant, self and other. Our family instinctively pursued these themes in imagining a new home. When we were finally able to undertake that project, we foraged for durable natural materials, old stone and scarred wooden beams that had weathered the storms of time. We were drawn to old furniture that had already lived many lives composing others' homes. This is how the world's. My eyes. Oh, God. Sorry, someone opened the door like really loudly. You know how it is. You know how it is. You know how it is when I'm in this shit, like for real. I'm out here, like getting fucked up constantly, and it's like making me look weird. So, like, everything is kind of mixing together as I begin to understand this danger is like one danger in and of itself. Why not? Why not? Why not? All it can do is disrupt me in this elementary human way. This way that's common to all people. Because anyone can experience trauma, and it'll affect their senses in predictable ways. Anyways. We are drawn to old furniture that had already lived many lives composing others' homes. This is how the walls of the new house came to be massive, nearly a foot deep and packed with insulation. The result is just as we had hoped, a lush and peaceful stillness. A lush and peaceful stillness. We know that nothing guarantees safety and uncertainty in this world, but we are comforted by the serenity of this home and its layered silences. The days unfurl now within the embrace of these generous walls, where once again our spirits spread and root. This is how a house becomes a home, and a home becomes a sanctuary. I feel this most acutely when I crawl into bed at night. I wait to hear my husband's breathing in syncopation with the muffled sighs of our beloved dog on the floor beside us as she sprints through her ecstatic dreams. I sense beyond to the dense envelope of our bedroom walls and listen to the lullaby of seclusion. According to Big Other's architects, these walls must come down. There can be no refuge. The primal yen for nests and shells is kicked aside like so much detritus from a fusty human time. That's Big Other. That's Big Other. The universe takes up residence in our walls. No longer the sentinels of sanctuary. Now they are simply the coordinates for smart thermostats, security cameras, speakers, and light switches that extract and render our experience in order to actuate our behavior. That our walls are dense and deep, is of no importance now, because the boundaries that define the very experience of home are to be erased. There can be no corners in which to curl up and taste the pleasures of solitary inwardness. There can be no secret hiding places because there can be no secrets. Big Other swallows refuge whole along with the categories of understanding that originate in its elemental oppositions, house and universe, depth and immensity. Those ageless polarities in which we discover and elaborate our sense of self are casually eviscerated as immensity installs itself in my refrigerator. The world chatters in my toothbrush. Elsewhere stands watch over my bloodstream, and the garden breeze stirs the chimes draped over the willow tree, only to be broadcast across the planet. The locks, they've vanished. The doors, they are open. And when the music ends, I'm your special friend. Fuck. I'm just looking at words and saying them. Like, I seriously, like, this is why I don't do this, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't play, brother. God damn it. I get to a point where I can actually focus on what's being said, but I feel like I'm on fucking high alert right now. Like, I can't get into this. Where did it stop? I want to say probably like here. Around here. God damn, dude. Oh, God. Jesus. The shelter of home is our original way of living in space. Baccalaureate discovers, shaping not only the existential counterpoint of home in a way, but also many of our most fundamental ways of making sense of experience. House and universe, refuge and world, inside and outside, concrete and abstract, being and non-being, this and that, here and there, elsewhere, narrow and vast, depth and immensity, private and public, intimate and distant, self and other. Words the power. Words the power. What an absolutely fucking privatized way to think of the world. Jesus. 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 Oh. I don't have that one picture of me getting a fucking EEG on here. Just realized that. Like, I have like the drawings from like Hololive, but I don't have like the fucking EEG picture. No. Meow. Meow. Oh, that's fucking epic. What the fuck? What is this?
What the fuck? Or I feel like it's like fucking criminal that those like images aren't next to each other because they're like so fucking closely related. Alright, anyways. Oh fuck, it's in front of the text. That's a EEG. It measures brain signals. I'm very diligent. I'm a diligent person. That in there. Yeah, actually. There's actually nothing wrong with my brain. Just goes to show that the cause is external, but internally perpetuated. Just why I gotta meditate and shit.
Can I jump? Like in real life? Yeah, I can single jump. I can't double jump. I've tried. Does not work. I'm quirky. Ah. I'm quirky. In my bed? I already did. You can turn back the VOD. You can turn back the VOD and watch it happen live. I did. You can turn back the VOD. I can jump one time and I'm out of jumps, you know? It's fucked up. I can jump one time and I'm out of jumps. It's on YouTube. You can turn it back on YouTube. Anyways, our family instinctively pursued these themes in imagining a new home. When we were finally able to undertake that project, we foraged for durable natural materials, old stone and scarred wood beams that had weathered the storms of time. We were drawn to old furniture that had already lived many lives, composing others' homes. This is how the walls of the new house came to be massive, nearly a foot deep and packed with insulation. The result is just as we had hoped, a lush and peaceful stillness. We know that nothing guarantees safety and certainty in this world, but we are comforted by the serenity of this home and its layered silences. I'm telling you right now, you're a liar. You're lying to me. I feel like Dr. Donut having to check things manually. Alright, right here. I swear you can. What do you mean I have to enable it? Just watch it later. Just wait. Just wait. Just wait. Just wait. Wait. Just wait. Okay? What? What the fuck? I don't think I can change it if the stream's already up. Yeah, I don't think I can change it if the stream's already up. Certainly next time. Yeah, just look for the jump later. Look. It's a really good jump, I know. Where was I? The days unfurled now with the embrace of these generous walls, where once again our spirits spread and root. This is how a house becomes a home becomes a sanctuary. I feel this most acutely when I crawl into bed at night. I wait to hear my husband's breathing in syncopation with the muffled sighs of our beloved dog on the floor beside us as she sprints through her ecstatic dreams. I sense beyond to the dense envelope of our bedroom walls and listen to their lullaby of seclusion. According to Big Other's architects, these walls must come down. There can be no refuge. The primal yen for nests and shells is kicked aside like so much detritus from a fusty human time. With Big Other, the universe takes up residence in our walls, no longer the sentinels of sanctuary. Now they are simply the coordinates for smart thermostats, security cameras, speakers, and light switches that extract and render our experience in order to actuate our behavior. That our walls are so dense and deep is of no importance now, because the boundaries that define the very experience of our home are to be erased. There can be no corners in which to curl up and taste the pleasures of solitary inwardness. There can be no secret hiding places, because there can be no secrets. Big Other swallows refuge whole, along with the categories of understanding that originate in its elemental oppositions: house and universe, depth and immensity, those ageless polarities in which we discover and elaborate our sense of self, are casually eviscerated as immensity installs itself in my refrigerator. The world chatters in my toothbrush, elsewhere stands watch over my bloodstream, and the garden breeze stirs the chimes draped from the willow tree, only to be broadcast across the planet. The locks, they have vanished. The doors, they are open. In the march of institutional interests intent on implementing Big Other, the very first citadel to fall is the most ancient. The principle of sanctuary. Oh, fuck. The sanctuary privilege has stood as an antidote to power since the beginning of the human story. Even in ancient societies where tyranny prevailed, the right of sanctuary stood as a failsafe. There was an exit from totalizing power, and that exit was the entrance to a sanctuary in the form of a city, a community, or a temple. At the time of the Greeks, sanctuaries were sacred sites built across the ancient Greek world and consecrated to the purposes of asylum and religious sacrifice. The Greek word asilon means unplunderable and founds the notion of a sanctuary as an inviolable space. Classic. Alright, see ya. The sanctuary privilege has stood as an antidote to power since the beginning of the human story, even in ancient societies where tyranny prevailed. The right to sanctuary stood as a failsafe. There was an exit from totalizing power, and that exit was the entrance to a sanctuary in the form of a city, a community, or a temple. By the time of the Greeks, sanctuaries were sacred sites built across the ancient Greek world and consecrated to the purposes of asylum and religious sacrifice. The Greek asylum means unplunderable and founds the notion of a sanctuary in an inviolable space. The right of asylum survived into the 18th century in many parts of Europe, attached to holy sites, churches, and monasteries. The demise of the sanctuary privilege was not a repudiation, or rather a reflection of social evolution and the firm establishment of the rule of law. One historian summarized the transformation: justice as sanctuary. In the modern era, the sacredness, inviolability, and reverence that once attached to the law of asylum re-emerged in constitutional protections and declarations of inalienable rights. English common law retained the idea of the castle as an inviolable fortress and translated that to the broader notion of home, a sanctuary free from arbitrary intrusion, unplunderable. The long thread of the sanctuary privilege reappeared in U.S. jurisprudence. Writing in 1995, legal scholar Linda McLean argued that the equation of home with sanctuary has depended less on the sanctity of property rights than on a commitment to the privacies of life. As she observed, there is a strong theme of a proper realm of inaccessibility or secrecy with respect to the world at large, as well as recognition of the important social dimension of such protected inner space. The same themes appear from the perspective of psychology. Those who would eviscerate sanctuary are keen to take the offensive. Putting us off guard with the guilt-inducing question, what have you got to hide? But as we have seen, the crucial development of challenges of the self-other balance cannot be negotiated adequately without the sanctity of disconnected time and space from the ripening of inward awareness. But as we have seen, the crucial developmental challenges of the self-other balance cannot be negotiated The same themes appear from the perspective of psychology. Those who would eviscerate sanctuary are keen to take the offensive, putting us off guard with the guilt-inducing question. What have you got to hide? But as we've seen, the crucial developmental challenges of the self-other balance cannot be negotiated adequately without the sanctity of disconnected time and space. As we've seen, the crucial developmental challenges of the self-other balance cannot be negotiated adequately without the sanctity of disconnected time and space for the ripening of inward awareness and the possibility of reflexivity, reflection on and by oneself. The real psychological truth is this: if you've got nothing to hide, you are nothing. One empirical study makes the point. In psychological functions of privacy, Darrell Pedersen defines the same Darrell Pedersen that defines people by their propensity to imitate. The same Darrell Pedersen in their fucking pockets. Whatever. Defines privacy as a boundary control process. It is a boundary control process. Once the blood-brain barrier can be broken, it's over. Privacy is nothing, for we can stick needles in your brain to measure your activities. Don't you understand? Don't you get it? Makes the point. In psychological functions of privacy, Darrell Pedersen defines privacy as boundaries control process. Tongue is like swelling up. That invokes a boundary control process that invokes the decision rights associated with restricting and seeking interaction. Pedersen's research identifies 6 categories of privacy behaviors: solitude, isolation, anonymity, reserve, intimacy with friends, and intimacy with family. That is very... that's like the most like capitalist, like that is like the most capitalist, like Eurocentric conception of like privacy imaginable. That's like offensively like focused on making sure that like the system continues to produce like division by instituting social categories. Jesus fucking Christ. Social categories in a void of any like tangible form of like trust. In any tangible form of trust. In any tangible form of education on forms of trust. That doesn't involve like some amount of like prejudice like against people, like in the same system that like continues to throw people out and you know, penalize them for mistakes that have essentially been like set up for them to make. These 6 categories of privacy behaviors negate the sort of like advancements in human rights that privacy has like given us. Like, you know, it's based on this kind of research that you can like roll back like a court ruling like Roe v. Wade, because this clearly has nothing to do with any sort of like sane or rational fucking concept of human experience being unique and uniquely perceived. Holy fuck. Kill yourself, man. It's like actually fucking offensive. I mean, if you know, you know. If you know, you know. It's like the weakest part of the book. We might just skip this. Why not? Just close it here. I can't see it getting much better from that point. If this is how she's gonna talk about these things, I mean, what's the point of reading any of this? Just do it in your own time, because apparently it's like actually fucking pointless. Yeah, I'm gonna close the book here. I'm gonna say we're done. I'm gonna say that's it. That's all. That's the end. If you enjoyed the Twitch streams, if you were there for that, you know, I'm glad that we could go through this journey together. I think let's write the final post. All right. That's it. All right. That's fun. That's been fun reading time. Um, are we gonna do this again? Maybe. Probably. I don't know with what book, but I'm gonna say that it might take some time because I want to have a good presentation. You know, this took a long time. This took a long fucking time. This took a long time to make. It took us a long time to get here. But you know what? It is what it is. Thank you all for coming. Thank you all for watching. I'm sorry that there isn't like this huge archive of like fun reading time posts for you to go through. But I mean, it is what it is. Like it's just I was using Twitch. The VODs expired. It fucking sucks. Um, yeah, you know, next time I'll do the whole book on YouTube, and it won't be no big deal. Uh, remember, if you're gonna read the book, read the book. Read the book first, then take a look at what I'm saying about it, because that's all this ever was. Cliff notes. And yeah, you know what? That's it. Peace.